Hi y'all. What in the heck? Another unboxing video. Great. Welcome back to the channel, y'all. I'm still looking for an additional reliable seller of these lithium iron phosphate cells, and I get contacted by companies about once a day, and a lot of them they all want me to sell for them, but a lot of them want me to sell these 12-volt batteries, and that's not even what I do, is it? This company, however, Sun Fun Kits, you've probably seen them on other videos. This company is a little unique. They sell cells. They claim that their cells are better than everybody else's, that theirs are automotive grade and not reject cells, and everybody else's is rejected. Could be true. We don't really know because the manufacturer doesn't really tell us. And this is a reseller of these cells. Everyone else we buy these cells from are also resellers. Most of them say that they have the best. This one actually says that all the others are ripping you off. That's not great form, but it could be true. I thought when this company contacted me, I thought, well, let's just find out. Let's test these things. See how they test. See how that compares for what they're charging for them. And maybe maybe they are better cells, and maybe we have another option. Maybe my subscribers have an option for, if they want to pay what this company charges for what this company delivers, maybe it's a better option or a different option anyway. But that's not all. This company is selling 3D printed kits for putting these cells together into a 12-volt battery. And so I'm going to open up this kit and I'm going to put together a 12-volt battery. And then I'm going to use it. I have a use for a 12-volt battery like this, and I'm going to use it for that. Now, to be sure, this company knew they were sending this to someone who was going to test it and make a YouTube video about it. So you have to look at, I don't have experience with this company. You're going to have to look at what their warranty is and make yourself comfortable with this. All I can do is test what they send me and then open up this kit and put it together. And if this kit is set up, I've watched a few of these videos from the beginning of this company. They have made improvements to this kit. But if this kit is put together in such a way that I think further improvements need to be made, I will probably make further improvements. If I don't think the wires are big enough, or if they need to be shorter. Anything I don't like about this kit before I put together a 12-volt battery, I'm going to tell you about it, and I'm going to change it, because around here we get accused of being OCD by people that are OCD. So let's open this thing up and see what we have from these. We got some big promises. Let's see what we find when we open up these batteries and then that kit. And then, after I test them, I'm going to have to once again make another video and stitch the two together. It worked last time. We can probably make it work this time. Let's just see. So there's going to be 2 batteries in each of these. I need 4 batteries to make a 12-volt battery. I've got 2 bus bars, but I've got extra nuts, looks to me like. I've got 4 nylock nuts and 4 nuts that are serrated. That's interesting. I've got these black plastic protective corners. That's good stuff. And I like it when they do this square insert. Let's see if I can pull these out with just my finger strength. And I can. Okay, this looks pristine. I don't see any dents here. Also, it gives me a capacity test right here on the battery and some resistance tests at different voltages. Okay, let's keep going. I'm told that my videos take too long. It doesn't hurt my feelings. I think they take just the right amount of time. 286. If these numbers are real, these are going to be, that's pretty good numbers. It's pretty flat. It's got a little rocking. There's a little bit of bulgy. That's kind of normal for these cells to have a little bit of it. I already cut that, didn't I? Same deal. 2 bus bars, 8 nuts. That's about as much as I've seen, except for the ones I got from that real rip-off seller, Winnie Long, but that's about as much bulging as I've seen on these. 288, that's a big number. About the same amount of, you know, not perfectly flat. And the last one, got a little minor dent there, nothing that I'm concerned about. And it says 287. So these look like clean cells. I'd make a battery with them so far. Let's test them and see. Now, let's open up this one. This is where the kit is. This will be an altogether new experience for me. Having somebody else design the kit. Let's see what's inside here. I had heard that they were making these a little bit different, where the top was all one piece. They used to make these with a spacer, and indeed now they do not. And I need, looks like I need an Allen wrench to open this up. And so what I'm going to do is, now I'm going to ask you to subscribe to the channel, please. If you like the idea of these videos, these type of videos where I take things open and inspect them and test them and give you my opinion about them, show me. Subscribe to the channel. If I get a bunch of subscribers, I know there's some interest in it. Comment, let me know. I'm gonna test these and open this up and see how it goes. And then I'm gonna decide whether or not I'm gonna put this together on camera or put it together and then show you what I've done. It's just gonna depend on what I find inside. I'll see you in the next video. Thank you for watching. Subscribe, like it, share it. Thank you, bye-bye. Well, welcome back. I guess I got these 2 videos to join together. I had big plans about how this was going to go, but as I said, I wasn't sure until here we are. I'm a scuba diver, y'all, and I have a saying, you can plan your dive, the current decides where you're going to go. Well, I had a big plan. I was going to show you the testing, and then I was going to show you how to put this all together, and then I did the testing, and now I'm going to make a video about what I found in my testing. Afterwards, I'm going to make another video that shows you about putting this together, because I've looked through the instructions, I've watched some other people's videos, and I've looked over the parts, and I think a few things need to get done a little differently to make me comfortable. So I want to talk about this testing because this did not work out as I had hoped. I am trying to find an additional supplier where we can get good cells at a reasonable price, but just at least be able to count on the seller being able to tell us what they're supplying and supplying what they tell us. And so these cells promise to be certified automotive grade cells, which means that they pass all the testing required by the Chinese government to be able to be used in automotive vehicles. And cells that don't pass that stringent protocol of testing are relegated to being sold on the open market for energy storage. Now, how do I know that? Well, people have said the manufacturers are not telling us that. The Chinese government has not told us that. We're finding that out from sellers, and we're finding it out from rumor on discussion forums. We don't really know, but it sounds reasonable. I'll go with it. These are certified automotive cells. When you buy these cells on their website, you will pay $960 for 4 cells here. Don't look for a link down below. That's a good bit more than we pay, but if these are certified automotive cells and they test the way they say, then it gives you an opportunity, and that's why I did these tests. But it's important to test, y'all. A lot of YouTubers have put this kit together, and I've gone and looked for all the videos that have been done on SunFun-Kit's products. I haven't found any where the YouTubers tested the cells, and some of my best mentors that I've been watching for quite a while have done this kit, but they didn't test the cells. And many of the YouTubers are quite impressed that these are certified automotive grade cells, but they don't test the cells. They just believe it. Well, I tested these cells according to the same protocol that I've used for all the cells that I've tested. You saw a video perhaps recently where I tested from a different seller that had made some really good promises. You know, we want to believe the promises. When people tell us that they can supply what we need, we want to believe. And I really wanted to believe. So I tested these cells. This first one said that it was going to be 288.5125 amp hours. Cell number 1, claim capacity 288.5125 amp hours. My protocol is to charge at 40 amps till it gets to 3.65 volts. And then when the amperage tails off to 1 amp, it cuts off. It rests for 30 minutes. And then, well, let's see. And then, go to that next page. Then I discharge at 40 amps to 2.5 volts. And whatever amps it provides before it cuts off at 2.5 volts, that is the capacity of that cell, according to my test protocol, and that of many others that I have watched over the course of the last year and a half. This cell required 151 amp hours to get to fully charged before it rested, and then I did the discharge test, and it only tested at 276 amp hours. Far below the 288 amp hours that they claimed. I went to cell number 2. It claimed 287 amp hours. It required 164 amp hours to be fully charged. That seems like a lot to have to put into this cell. These cells should come to us at about a 50% state of charge, which means I would expect to put about 140 amp hours in, but it can vary some, so I wasn't too concerned. After resting, it discharged to 275.5 amp hours, far below the 287 amp hours that was claimed. Now this one was where it got really weird. Cell number 3 only required 81 amp hours. That's going to be important later. They claimed 287 amp hours of capacity. My test showed 275.6. Remember this 81 amp hours. That means that this cell came to me 75% state of charge. Cell number 4 claimed 286 amp hours. It only took 74.2 amp hours to be fully charged. What? 75% state of charge. And it only tested at 273 amp hours, y'all. Well below the 286 amp hours that they claimed. Now, I started to get a little worried. Perhaps my tester was defective. Maybe it needed to be calibrated. It could happen. I've tested hundreds of cells with it. It hasn't acted up, but I decided to, instead of sending it back to the factory to be calibrated, I decided to take 2 cells that I had tested at random. I've got a row of cells alongside one wall in the hallway. My wife just loves it. And she's holding the camera on me right now and she's laughing. And so I just took the 2 off the end. Cell number 203 and cell number 204. I have tested hundreds of these, y'all. And these came from Jenny Wu at Docon Technologies, and I tested these cells in January of this year, 6 months ago. Cell number 203. The original test from January of 2022 was 282.5 amp hours. Today, it tests at 281.4 amp hours. Now, I would expect to have degradation of the capacity in 6 months, over a 6-month period of just calendar aging. And it was 1/3% lower. Okay? Cell number 204. It originally tested at 282.4 amp hours. Now at 280.7. So it has lost about 0.5% of its capacity. But what this tells me is my tester is working just fine. These cells are not. I'm sorry, y'all. I tried to find one for you. Let me share something. I got 2 other real concerns with these cells. Now, at the beginning of this video, I showed you how there was a little rocking, and I told you that it was about as much as I had ever seen. But after testing these cells and top balancing these cells are bloated. These cells are touching one another, and this is a 1.5 millimeter shim, and it goes right in there. Now, is that too much? I have seen online pictures of cells that were worse. I have just not experienced that in the hundreds of cells that I have dealt with. But it is concerning. And these cells are supposed to be certified automotive grade. What does that mean? Well, I know what it means, I think. but it doesn't seem to have made this not happen. Now, these cells were top balanced the way I've top balanced all the cells in all my batteries. I put them in a fixture and I restrain them. I don't compress them, I don't crank anything down on them, but I have threaded rods and I do snug up plywood panels against the ends to hold them in place so that as they get charged for top balancing, they don't bloat. And this kit has these foam panels on each side, and these cells get put in, and like on Andy's video at the Off-Grid Garage, you see him pushing really hard to get them in. And Lithium Solar did a video of this, and you can see him really fighting to get them in. And that's on purpose. That's so that the manufacturer, I think they said, to prevent, I wish I had that quote written down. I think they said to prevent unrecoverable expansion from charging and discharging. Is that the word they used? I'm not exactly sure, but basically it's here to restrain the cells so that as they charge and discharge, they don't get larger over time, because it's like a ratcheting effect. And over time, they'll get bigger. When I put these in the fixture to top balance them, I snugged up just by hand, not with a ratchet. This is how I do it. I just by hand, I snug up the socket on the ends. And then when I take them out of the fixture, it's usually very little, if any, tighter. These were tight. I had to really work to get them loose. And the manufacturer does, the manufacturer of this kit, not the cells, these are Eve cells, but the manufacturer of the kit does address the subject of top balancing. And in this, I want to read what they say in the instructions, because this is important. When these cells require 160 amp hours to charge one cell and 74 amp hours to charge one of the others, these cells need to be top balanced. To allow a BMS or a balancer to balance cells that are that far different in state of charge, that's just bad juju. That's really a bad idea. But what the manufacturer says is, certified automotive grade cells generally do not require balancing. However, you may choose to balance your cells. We have a video explaining this process. And I went and watched that video, and I invite you to also. They top balance them the same way I do, except they don't put them in a fixture. They're only restrained at the top with the bus bars. And then I top balance this at 40 amps. They top balance at 80 amps, which would make this phenomenon even worse. But they go on. If you are using an RTB, ready-to-build kit, the active balancer will assist in top balancing your cells. Simply assemble your pack, charge the battery at 5 to 20 amps, and within 1 to 2 hours, your cells should be even balanced. Let's just go with 2 hours. If you have a difference 160 to 74, that's 80 something amp hours difference. Well, you're not going to get that with 20 amps, or you're not going to get that with this little balancer in 1 to 2 hours, maybe 1 to 2 days. These cells were vastly different in state of charge. It goes on. Again, certified cells that are included with your RTB kit will balance very quickly, and the active balancer is included simply to assist balancing during high amperage charging over 80 amps. That's all I'm going to say about that. There's a lot to understand about this subject, and I'm not going to go any further because my goal in this video, and in all my videos, is to just educate you and educate you about what is implied in that and how far off that is from the reality of these cells would be a much different video. I won't do that right now. What I want you to know is what I found when I tested these cells. I ain't judging, I'm just saying. So, subscribe to this channel because I'm about to build this battery. And I'm going to build it according to the manufacturer's instructions. But I'm going to show you what I would do different if I was them. They have changed this kit a few times after YouTubers did videos and showed problems that they were having, and the commenters below the videos showed concerns that they had. And the manufacturer has made changes, and I guess changing the design based on the comments on YouTube, I guess that's a good thing, isn't it? Sure. I'm going to move forwards with this. I'll try to make this video tonight. I don't know what else to say about this, but be your own judge. And thank you for watching. Appreciate it. Give me a like. Share this with others that you know are looking for cells and looking for these kits. I know it's really tempting to buy these kits where you don't have to do your own design and you can just throw something together right quick. This company says that you can put this together in 30 minutes. None of the YouTubers have been able to do that yet, but still much quicker than if I was going to start this from scratch. But let's put this together and I'll show you what you need to know if you do choose to buy this kit. If this is the way you want to go, I want to help you know the best way to do it. And so I'm going to make another video real soon about putting this together. You will not find an affiliate link at the bottom of this channel for buying these videos. You can go to one of the other YouTubers who do have affiliate links for this. If you choose to buy them, support them. They deserve your support. I won't be needing it on this video. Thank you very much. Just like and subscribe. That's all I'm looking for. Thank you. Bye-bye.